here at Alton Towers looking for Britain's strongest man who'll walk away with the Energizer battery trophy. And this corkscrew is 750 metres long. Must be one hell of a bundle wide.
Six men already through to the final after 3 heats of bump and grind. Experienced competitors Lee Bowers and Bill Pittock carried all before them in the 3rd heat. So Bell, Mullins, Ross, Bryce, Pittock and Bowers are through, just 2 more places to be filled. And here we are in Heat 4 with a student, a health food shop owner, a managing director, an actor and a sawmill operator. Jamie Barr's 34, he's Scotland's strongest man. Steve Brooks, 33, back in the big time after recovering from a serious hand injury. Fraser Tranter, 33 as well, the tallest man in the competition. Seb Abbatiello is 39, and he's a martial arts expert. And flying the flag for youth, 26-year-old Stephen Halliday. Once upon a time, Alton Towers was Europe's largest private house. And here in front of the castle, the first event of Heat 4. Only 5 men taking part here after Terry Purdue withdrew through injury. It's the farmer's walk, all about pressure on the forearms and biceps. The 2 cylinders weigh 500 pounds. Paul Dickinson commentating once more.
A lot of nerves in that tent this morning as the first competitor emerges. Sebastian Abbatiello from Worcester. He said he was born to be big and strong, and he is that. 39 years old, the oldest man in this final heat. Steve Brooks from Spennymoor in County Durham. Absolutely massive man, just look at those shoulders. Owns a health food shop, so knows all about health and fitness and obviously strength as well. Jamie Barr, physiology student from Scotland. Comes from Glenrothes in Fife. Very athletic man is Jamie Barr. Fraser Tranter, the tallest man in this year's Britain's Strongest Man competition. Believe it or not, just a shade under 7 feet tall, the man from Wolverhampton. And finally, Stephen Halliday from Dumfries. Down to 5 competitors in this final heat, and a couple of the competitors out on the course already suffering from some injuries.
I was training and I fell and I've broken a bone in my wrist, so just have to wait and see what happens. I'm not trained for a fortnight because of the injury, so I'm gambling everything on it's going to be all right.
Yeah, some events are a disadvantage, you know, with the ones that are, you just have to work a bit harder, but I've been looking forward to this event. You know, this is a good event for me as a rule. But unfortunately, in practice yesterday, I did some damage to my arms, so I'm just getting my fingers crossed, you know, that it all goes well and that I'll get an ace card here.
Dougie Edmonds telling them to get ready. And so the final heat gets underway. Sebastian Abbatiello on this side. Stephen Brooks is going well, along with Fraser Tranter in the red t-shirt. The turn is absolutely crucial. They've got to get balanced, and Fraser Tranter has dropped his cylinders. That is Stephen Brooks' wife, Lynn. Oh, it's flying. He's over the line. That is phenomenal. Jamie Barr has come through into second place. The Scotsman will finish second, just ahead of Sebastian on this side. Great performance, though, by Stephen Brooks. He won it by miles. And Fraser Tranter, well, he's got to pick it up higher than anybody else, but he did say he was looking forward to this contest. I wonder if his injury has got worse. Fraser Tranter finishes in last place. I have to say, your wife was a bag of nerves.
Yeah, I was. Well, I'm okay now.
Does that give you extra confidence for the other events now?
Yeah. I'll be into the final.
Great start, well done.
Cheers.
You are shaking,
I
aren't you?
am, like a leaf. I wanted to be over the fence and in there. And
That was great for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
Now, he was nervous because I spoke to him before the event, but you're a bag of nerves, I think, aren't you?
I was standing down there, my stomach was just going round and round and round like a washing machine. But then when he gets on there, the event comes out, you know.
Fantastic start, wasn't it?
Now I'll go away and calm down for the next one.
Okay, well done. Jamie, how's the hand?
Well, it's stinging, but it held out, so that's the main thing. I just took my time and made sure I got over the line. That's what mattered.
Now, was I imagining things, or did you actually blow a kiss to Steve Brooks when you went across the line?
I blew my kisses. Everybody just has a carry on. It's good fun, so it's no bad feelings getting beat. You get beat, that's it.
Well, despite his wife's concerns, Steve Brooks okay, Jamie Barr too, but boy did Fraser Tranter find it tough. Well, lifting logs is a pretty serious kind of business, you know. You can jerk them or push press them, but you can't split them or dip them. This one in particular, it's 380 kilograms in weight. And in anybody's terms, that's a captain's kind of log. And we find our captain's log by coming across the lake.
It really is a startling contraption. They have to lift as many times as possible, and the effective weight that's bearing down on their shoulders, well, it's about 17.5 stones.
Fraser Tranter.
First man to go, Fraser Tranter, and a lot of work to do now because he only picked up 2 points in that first event, having felt confident about it. No ill effects from the injury. And let's remember that Glenn Ross in Heat 2 lifted this log a phenomenal 18 times. Well, referee Dougie Edmonds there saying that Fraser Tranter's first repetition didn't count. So a bit of wasted energy there for the Wolverhampton man. Almost 7 feet tall, so he's got to press it a phenomenal distance. He's got incredibly long arms, and that makes things more difficult. Up to 7, 8. Well, running out of steam just a little bit, but he looks determined. Now, can he squeeze one more repetition out? Come on, Fraser. Gets it to arm's length, but referee Dougie Edmonds says no. He didn't lock his arms out. Oh, he'll be disappointed with that. 9 in total, and I wonder how his injury is.
Well, I spoke to the doctor. I've been having treatment all morning on it, nursing it along. He's still got a rip in the top of the bicep there. So it's just been a hoping game.
Stephen Halliday now, the Scot, trains with Stuart Murray, who appeared in a previous heat. Fraser Tranter's 9, the total to beat. He's a pretty strong customer, is Stephen Halliday. Won his first ever competition at Blair Athol in Scotland. He knows his way about these competitions, and I think he's done a bit of training on this log before. He's going well. 8. A very tough customer indeed, goes into the lead. Well done to Stephen Halliday. He's showing very good form. It's over 115 kilograms, the pressure on their arms and shoulders. And that is remarkable. It's not like a weightlifting competition where you've only got to lift it once and he gets 13. That is going to be a very tough score to beat. And this could be Stephen Halliday's best event so far.
I'm quite strong on the shoulder. I was quite confident. I was looking for about maybe 10. But when I got there, I felt straight strong. You know? So I was quite happy with that, like, definitely.
Sebastian, I think you were pretty pleased after that first event. So has that given you a bit of confidence for this awesome log?
Yeah, a bit, but I'm nervous as well. I mean, you do this to absolute failure. And, you know, you don't know what you're going to do till you're out there and you've got the weight on your shoulders and start pressing it and whatever. So I'm just going to do the best I can. Keep my fingers crossed and just keep on pushing.
Sebastian Abbatiello going through a bit of mental preparation. He's a very experienced competitor. He's got tremendous arms as well. They measure well over 20 inches in circumference. We may well see Sebastian in a feature film soon called Gladiator. Made in Hollywood, but this guy made in Worcester. Up to 8 repetitions, he's chasing Stephen Halliday's lead of 13. The record for Britain's strongest man, 18 repetitions by Glenn Ross, the Northern Ireland competitor in Heat 2. Oh, come on, Sebastian. Another repetition, he's equal with Fraser Tranter at the moment. The crowd are roaring him on. He's going to finish equal with the giant from Wolverhampton, Fraser Tranter. Sebastian a little bit dejected. Jamie Barr straight onto the platform. Now this guy might not have the gross strength of some of these competitors, but he's very, very fit. Studying physiology, he knows exactly what's required here. He'd love to make it through to the final. The referee telling Jamie just to take the starting position a little lower. He loves his tattoos as well, does Jamie Barr. Highly decorated, you might say. But all he's interested in here is getting this log as many times over his head as possible, and he's going well at the moment. 2 men on 9 repetitions. He's equal to that. Now, can he go past Fraser Tranter and Sebastian? Yes, he can. Chasing Stephen Halliday's lead, but he can't do it. He's going to settle for 2nd place at the moment, and there's only Steve Brooks to go, holding his wrist, which is heavily strapped.
It's not too bad now I'm finished, but it was really hurting. I couldn't set the bar where it's normally meant to go, so I had to try and adjust my hand so it's sitting across my thumb. But I got what I needed to get. I needed 10, so I'm just looking for places. Tomorrow's my day.
Well, if anybody was built for this event, it's Steve Brooks. He's got an extraordinary physique, absolutely enormous shoulders. Well, referee Dougie Edmonds telling him to lower it. I'm not sure he counted that first repetition. Look at the size of his triceps. Goes up to 4. Oh, he's discounted another one as well. So 2 already have gone astray. And that doesn't help, but Steve Brooks now chasing the 9 repetitions of Tranter and Abbatiello. He's got it. And goes one ahead. And discounted another one. Well, that's 3 so far. Oh, he's discounted yet another. This is incredible. This is a big disadvantage for Steve Brooks. He doesn't know what's going on in terms of the referee. I think he's not lowering it enough in between each repetition. Can he get another one? No, he can't. He finishes on 11. It's 2nd place. And that is a big surprise victory for Stephen Halliday. And Steve Brooks saying to Jamie Reeves, what went wrong?
There's a strict range of movements allowed. That's a push press to the lock position. And there must be a full range of movement from below the chin to the lock position. Some of Steve's lifts were from this area, and also in some of his lifts he dipped at the top. So he couldn't get the lift, it's not in the rules.
It felt good to me. I would have won that easy.
Well, you did have about 5 disqualified, so that certainly would have won.
Yeah. Can't understand it.
Disappointed, obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean I would have won that. Easy.
Is this going to make a difference to the way in which you approach the next 2 events?
No, it'll just make us more aggressive. Perform even better.
Steve Brooks unhappy, but still good enough for 2nd place. But for Fraser Tranter, the end of the road is nigh.
The doctors have told me this morning to pull out. Both the biceps are badly strained and some of the muscle fibres are torn. So I'm just competing at 50%, and I feel this calibre, it just doesn't fit. You know, you've got to be 100% fit.
So now just 4 left in, but it's tight at the top, with Brooks, Barr and Halliday separated by just 2 points. Is this just part of the uniform, do you think, to have the tattoos, or would you have done it anyway?
I mean, I was 32 before I actually decided to go and get one. I just fancied the Celtic Pictures design. It took me maybe 6 months going every fortnight for 2 to 3 hours to get it done. It's just a lot of Pictish and Celtic designs mixed in with some tribal designs. I would say this is more like body art. It's one colour and it flows with the contours of your body, whereas a tattoo, to my mind, is more like a picture of Scooby-Doo. No, it's not going any further down here, and it's not going any further up here.
This is the loading race, 5 drags and 5 lifts. You have to pick up this sandbag and stick it on the top up there. Then you put the barrel next door to it, a log next door to that, the anchor next door to that, and in the end you put a chain right where I'm standing at the moment. And then you're going to have a lie down. This courtyard was originally a stable block built to look like a castle, so that diners at Alton Towers could look across the lake and see another castle. They did that sort of thing in those days, you know.
Now, what are the tactics here? Do you go flat out all the way, or do you pace yourself?
Pace yourself generally. I've been watching the heats go by. They look pretty light, so we'll just see how it goes.
My plan is it's going to be a berserker job. So I call it everything or nothing. I'm just going to go as fast as I can, as hard as I can, and hope it just comes together. That's all I can do. It's going to be one of them things of a lifetime.
Well, I'm sure Sebastian is hoping for a good performance here. I just wonder how Jamie Barr's hand is holding out. Yeah. Seb, full of energy. He's a black belt in martial arts. He's a pretty tough customer. Well, this sack shouldn't be a problem. This weighs 60 kilos. It's quite awkward. And Jamie Barr throws it up there, as does Sebastian. The barrel, 75 kilos. Around about 14 stones, and it is quite awkward to make it stay up there. Jamie Barr is away. And this is a real thinking event. You've got to figure out how to get it up there quickly and efficiently. So important. No doubt about Jamie Barr's strength or fitness. He's going very well indeed. The anchor so awkward, weighs 100 kilos, nearly 16 stones. And Sebastian falling behind all the time. I don't think his dream is going to come true. Now this chain is the most awkward of the lot. 190 kilos, 30 stones in weight. And Sebastian having real problems with the anchor. The whole chain has got to be on that lower part of the wall, and Jamie Barr has done it. Just over a minute. Now come on, Sebastian. He's a real showman. That weighs about as much as a car engine. But with the 5 links of the chain, it's so awkward to get up. Oh. Time is running out for Sebastian. 39 years old, the oldest man in this heat. Jamie Reeve there just stopping him falling off and giving him a lot of encouragement as well. Come on now, one big lift to go, and he's got it. 1 minute 44 seconds. Total and utter exhaustion.
I'm a wee bit quicker than the others because my body weight's lighter, but you never know what happens. I give it my best shot, so you can only just wait and see what the other two's going to come up with.
Steve Brooks is in pretty good shape though, isn't he?
He is, he's improved greatly on his fitness as well, so, but I just hope I'm quicker. Jane Fonda classes have paid off.
Well, I'm not sure about Jane Fonda aerobics for these two. It's all about strength now and guts and determination. Halliday on the left, Brooks on the right.
Ready?
Crouching down like sprinters. Away we go. The race is on. Brooks away quickly. Halliday, oh, just leaving that sack dangling over the wall, but it stays on. And Jamie Barr was afraid of Steve Brooks. Halliday is up in the points as well. If one of these objects falls off, well, they've got to put it back, but that's safe up there for Steve Brooks. Halliday about 5 seconds behind. Steve Brooks finding this anchor a little bit awkward. He's a shade slower than Jamie Barr with the anchor. Come on, Stephen, they're shouting. Now then, if you can get it up quickly, Steve Brooks could take the lead. Halliday fighting to get that anchor on the wall. Just 6 seconds left for Steve Brooks. Can he do it? No, Jamie Barr is still in the lead. Steve Brooks, well, it's so close. Jamie Reeve insisting the whole chain is on the platform. Oh, I think Steve Brooks may have hurt his hand a little bit. There's blood all over his finger. The doctor there straight away. And Halliday, I think he's had enough. Way outside the points on this occasion, and Brooks is being led away by the doctor for immediate treatment.
It was very tough. It was harder than I expected, yeah. I just blew up at the chain. I nipped my finger, drew some blood, but still there.
Now you're going to have some stitches in your finger. Is that going to affect the final event at all?
I hope not, but we'll have to wait and see. I shouldn't think so.
You're not the sort of guy that would count his chickens, but I think you probably realise now you are going to make it to the final, don't you?
Yeah. I said all along I'll get the final. Hopefully, well, I will be there.
This loading event looks as though it could have made a difference to the overall situation in terms of you going through to the final, even though there is one event to go.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow I'll have to win, I think, the event to be in the final. I thought it was going to be a good event for me today, but just in a way.
Is it the endurance or is it the awkwardness of the things you've got to lift or what?
It's mere fitness than anything else. Better strength and more fitness.
It's pretty hard though when you're about 20 stones in weight, isn't it?
It's definitely. It's trying to keep the fitness and the strength at the same time. It was really hard. I found that really hard to do.
Last event coming up.
I just have to go for it. Want to be in the final, definitely.
Well, a good result for Scotland's strongest man, Jamie Barr, winning that event ahead of Steve Brooks. Halliday back in 4th place. But there are still 3 of them in it, but for Stephen Halliday to make it through, Jamie Barr has to come 4th in this last event. And so to the final event in the medley, carrying beer barrels, flipping tyres and lifting this massive dead weight down the course. I tell you, it's not often you can say you've got 440 pounds between your legs. In the intervening period, Steve Brooks had been to hospital to have those stitches because he knew he only had to start this event and pick up a single point to get through to the final, and that's just what he did. But even though this race became academic, Jamie Barr was still up for it.
Now, Jamie, rather like the last event, this event should suit you because you are a very fit man as well as being strong.
Yeah, it does. Plus, I've done the tie before, so I know what's coming. So I'll just get it on and get it over with, and that's it. I'm done.
Well, Steve Brooks picking up that single point had now made it impossible for Halliday to overtake Barr. So this medley race became a matter of pride.
Sebastian on this side, he certainly wants to finish off with a flourish. Yeah. Jamie Barr, tough Scotsman, with Jukka Ahola standing behind him. World's strongest man 2 years ago, here to help with his experience. Stephen Halliday, he's put on a tremendous show. Abbatiello. And this guy, well, talk about show, he loves it. And the audience love him.
Yeah, come on. Thank you, man.
So Jamie Barr, certain of a place in the final.
Get your grip on the whistle.
Here we go. Sebastian away well, handling this 200 kilogram weight with ease, as is Jamie Barr, who sprints into the lead. Now this huge earth-moving tyre. They've got to flip it twice. Stephen Halliday from Dumfries, right in the middle. Jamie Barr, a fellow Scot, and it's Scotland in first place by a mile at the moment. The first of 3 barrels. Easy for Jamie Barr. And this is one tough customer who, together with Steve Brooks, should acquit themselves well in the final. Sebastian coming through. And at the moment, Stephen Halliday in 3rd place in this final event. And Jamie Barr has done it and has made it look so easy. Sebastian, come on now. 1 to go after this one. Well, it's all gone down to a stroll now. The 4 events they've all taken part in, a mixture of power, sheer strength and endurance as well. And right now their hearts will be beating to their absolute maximum. Abbatiello not giving up. Will Sebastian be back bigger and stronger next year? I suspect he will. Halliday too. Stephen Halliday exhausted, Sebastian as well, but he's got plenty of support. Well done, my man. Now, you came into this competition with an injury. Did you really think you'd make it through to the final?
No, not really. I thought, but you never know what's going to happen. But I didn't think I was going to get the final, but I have, so I just get on with it. But this will throb for a couple of days. Some more painkillers, and it'll be all right.
Well, you've proved your fitness. The
That's
technicalities of the events are not a problem, so
No.
it looks pretty good for the final for you as well, doesn't it?
It's a lot heavier, so I tend to lose because I'm taller and I'm lighter. I'm fine for running about, but when it comes to the static, I tend to lose a bit, especially in the pressing events. But it's never over till it's over, is it?
Jamie Barr exceeding his own expectations, but another event victory for him there, and Seb Abbatiello getting his best result. So Barr and Brooks through to the final, but both carrying injuries. How is that going to affect them when it gets to the crunch? And there's the lineup for the final. Barr and Brooks joining Bell, Mullins, Ross, Bryce, Pittock and Bowers. Well, as tough guys, strong guys go, they don't come much tougher or stronger than Jamie, who won that heat. Well done to you. But there's one final test you've got to perform here. Just show us how strong you really are. Well, the mid-60s is all these tough boys are managing to do on this machine, you know, but Leela's here. She's at school, she's 9 years old, and she'll show them how it really ought to be done. Go on, Leela. Beaten by a 9-year-old. Is that humiliating for Jamie or what?
Catch the final of Britain's Strongest Man on Saturday, 8:10 BBC One. Next up, EastEnders, and it's all happening at the Queen Vic.